Huh?
So to start off this cut, we're gonna go ahead and pick out his hair, and this is all preparation for when we do start the actual haircut. And now we're gonna go ahead and comb through the hair, get it nice and laid down, make sure there's no debris, lint, and stuff like that in the hair. And to start the fading process, we're gonna go ahead with our trimmer and set in our bald line. So what I'm doing is kind of sloping it and dropping it towards the back of his head to give the fade some shape and some contrast, so it fits his head shape a little bit better. But I'm gonna go ahead and do that all the way around the head, make sure it's nice and even and a consistent line throughout the head. And then we're gonna go ahead and bald the rest of it out. And when fading, you want to make sure you're staying as neat as possible, because it just eliminates the risk of you kind of losing your place, you know what I mean? So make sure you just do everything with nice and clean, you know what I'm saying? We're just gonna continue to bald them out. Let the clipper do the work. You don't have to press into the skin. That's how you irritate clients' skin and they get real red on the neck area. Just let the clipper do the work. And now we're gonna go ahead and follow that up with the shaver. And what this is gonna do is just get it a lot closer to the skin, so that gradients in the fade is that much more significant, you know what I mean? It really makes that blend pop when it's all done. And especially with the shaver, you don't want to press too hard, because you have the potential to really cause the client to bump up, which you don't want. So you want to make sure you're letting the shaver do the work and not pressing too hard. Now to get into the next step, I'm going to go with my clipper all the way open, about a ½ an inch. And as I get towards the back of the head, you'll see me make the guideline a little bit thicker. Reason being is because the back of the head, there's a lot more surface area to blend. So I give myself a little bit more room as I drop it towards the back. Now to get rid of the line in between the open and bald line, right here I'm showing how I go closed and open it gradually. I'm gonna go in closed, and then you'll see me open the lever as I get towards the top of the guideline. And once you do that, it should be for the most part blended out, and then you always go back in detail. So you'll see me open and close the lever as needed. And make sure you're staying patient. Don't try to rush the process of the fade, because that's how you end up taking it too high or not blending it enough. So just be patient, trust the process. I'm going in closed and continually opening it gradually. And you see how we're keeping the same shape that we made with the bald line? It just fits his head shape real nicely. But I'm gonna go ahead and do that throughout the entire head. And after you do that, there still might be a little faint line, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the corner of my trimmer to go ahead and knock that out. Alright, and following that up with the one guard open, keeping the same shape, same width of the guideline as I did with my clipper open. And again, I'm gonna make it a little bit thicker as I drop towards the back, making sure that guideline is nice and neat, that the length of the guideline is even. And now for the line in between the one open and clipper open, we're gonna go ahead with our half guard and just attack that line using the same system as we did on the previous step, going open and closing it gradually as needed to get rid of that line. And as we move up in the fade, you're gonna be able to see it slowly but surely come together. So I'm going to go ahead and detail using a lot of the corner of the blade to get into those dark areas. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm really loving my Babyliss clippers. As you can tell, I've been using them in almost every tutorial. But down in the comment section, let me know what your clipper of choice is. And if there's a clipper that you do want to potentially test and experiment and get, let me know that as well. But Babyliss is definitely the GOAT right now with these clippers. Alright, and now for the line that's still left a little, I'm gonna go ahead and use the corner of my blade all the way open, and I'm just attacking that line where the dark spots are. And you can see it, I'm using a lot of the corner of the blade because it doesn't take off as much hair as if I was to use the entire blade flat against the head, you feel me? So when blending and fine tuning it, you always want to use the corner. Now this is my 2 guard all the way open, and this will be the biggest guard that I use. And I'm not really setting a line with this, I'm deep walking, and as I get to the length on top, I'm flicking out. And you can see in the back, I'm kind of shaping as well for the kind of shape I wanted the head to have. And now for that line right there, I'm going to go ahead with my 1.5 open, doing the same exact thing, and then you'll see me close it gradually. And for me, how I get through my steps is I try to get through them as quick as possible, so I have a lot more time to detail the blend, you feel me? Because what's going to separate your haircut is the detailing process. So I get through my steps as quick as I can without not rushing, you know what I mean? I don't want to rush the haircut, but I want to get through it as fast as I can and then detail. But now for that faint line that's still left, I'm going in with my 1 guard, and I'm just attacking that line. And you can see it coming together, family. The fade is usually not perfect on your first time through the steps, almost never. So you are gonna have to go back and detail. And this angle right here, the blend is looking tough. Let me know what you guys think. Now I'll go ahead and move to the other side. I'm going to go with my clipper open once again. And I'm just going to connect it where we left off in the back. And the reason I did half of the head and then the other is for recording purposes. Usually I do it all the way around the head if I'm not recording the haircut, you know what I mean? But going in with my clipper open. And now to get rid of that line, I'm going to go with my clipper closed and open it gradually. And you'll be able to tell right here why I do make the guideline in the back of the head a little bit thicker. And it's because it just gives us more room to make a blend that is gradual. You know what I mean? And spread out. And now we're going to go ahead above that with a 1 guard all the way open. And you want to spend a lot of time in the occipital bone area because there is usually a lot of dark spots on the back of a client's head. So you'll see me spend a little bit extra time in the back. And now this is my half guard, and I'm just attacking that line that's in between the open and 1 open. And now this is the 2 guard open, the biggest guard that we are going to use. And I'm just flicking out. And I'm creating a shape, right? A silhouette. Because if you were to look at him from directly behind or directly in front, his hair kind of flares out around the ridge. It doesn't go straight up like a flat top. So I'm kind of sculpting it as I go with the 2 guard open. And now to connect the right side of the head with the back and left, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that line with my clipper closed. And then opening it as I get towards open at the top of the guideline. But Ohio just got word that we are able to open up this Friday the 15th, and I'm super excited to get back to work and talk to my clients again, produce more content. So I'm super lit, man. I haven't cut like in the shop since March, so being able to get back in there is going to be refreshing. But I'm remaining consistent in what I'm doing with the fade and just doing it throughout the entire head. Now to connect it, we're going to go with our 1 guard all the way open once again and meeting it where we left off in the back. Now we're going to get rid of that faint line in between the 1 open and clipper open with our half guard. And I'm going in open and then closing it as needed, because you can always take hair off, but you can't put hair back on. You feel me? So it's rather to be safe than sorry. But this is our 2 guard open once again, creating that shape, that silhouette. And then we're going to follow it up with our 1.5. and then you'll see me close it as well. And fading is all about finding a system that works for you and perfecting it, right? Because if you're trying a whole bunch of systems all at one time, you're gonna get lost, you're gonna get confused. So stick with one, and if it's not working, then switch, you feel me? But try to find a system that's the most comfortable, and then perfect it from there. But now I'm going into my one guard and just attacking those dark areas and areas that need to be blended a little bit better. And as you can see, man, this blend is coming together real nicely. And now to blend into the top a little bit more, I'm doing clipper over comb, and I'm kind of getting any hairs that hang over the fade and just getting rid of them so it blends into the top a lot nicer, creating some shape to it. Not cutting too much off, just blending. And as you can see, my man's lineup is looking lost. So what we're gonna do is comb down the lineup, and then I'm gonna lay it down with the 1.5 guard closed. And what this is doing is just tapering the hairline area, so when I do line it up, it's nice and neat, you know what I mean? There won't be a lot of hangover hairs and flyaway hairs. But now I'm gonna go ahead and start in the middle and work towards the right side of the head. And this is not a pushback, he just had a lot of bangs. And now I'm gonna move towards the left side. Remaining consistent, being patient. You don't want to rush the hairline, you know what I mean? You want to make sure it's as symmetrical as possible while getting it as crispy as possible. But I went ahead and lined up the arch. And with lining up the arch, I start at the top and then go to the bottom and meet it in the middle. And that is how I create that nice round shape in the C-cup arch area. And now I'm going to go ahead and line up the box. And when you put that line on there, what it does is it acts as a framework, so it allows you to see minor flaws in the fade as well when you do line up the haircut. And now to enhance the lineup, I'm going to go ahead and use some hair fibers. And what this does is, it's temporary, but what it does is it fills in the light spots of the hairline. And then when you go back and reline it, it takes that hairline to another level and makes it look really sharp and crisp. So I'm going ahead and just, that line that I made before I put on the hair fibers, I'm going to go ahead and follow that. So that's why you want to make sure that the lineup that you make before you put on the hair fibers is sharp, right? Because when you take a shower, the hair fibers are going to wash out. So you want to make sure it's sharp with the hair fibers and without, you feel me? So I'll go ahead and spray it on lightly, fill in those light areas. And then I'm going to go ahead and reline it. And now we're gonna go ahead with the razor, and what the razor does is it gets those hairs that the trimmer couldn't, and just makes the hairline a little bit sharper, gives it some longevity, you know what I mean? And you always want to make sure you're pulling the skin, because if you didn't, it could potentially create a fold when you're using the razor, and that is how a cut could be caused. So you want to make sure you're always pulling the skin and giving the customer a nice, clean, comfortable shave. Alright, buddy came in looking lost, buddy left looking found, and this is the nice mid drop fade. It is super clean. Make sure you follow me at Dreclipperhands. Hit that like and subscribe button. Comment down below what you thought about this haircut. But yeah, family, catch y'all next time.